my
So you're talking.
lessers. Yeah, and they deserve to suck D, all of them. Like it's disgusting to me. Like I just and so you know if you ask these guys like name the top 10 coins and what they do and they don't know, and you're like, well, since you guys don't know anything about anything, why are you so confident? Like you don't know any. I'm coming from a place of knowledge. I called the top in the day. You're all scum compared to me. Get on my level. You know, like it blows my mind.
I can feel the hatred though, because there is like a lot of people for some reason.
But like that hatred goes for everybody. So how many people hate Vitalik more than
That's true.
hate me just because he's got a broader audience? Like, and then in the legacy world, how many people hate Bitcoin?
Yeah.
Half or more of everybody thinks Bitcoin's horrible, right? They're trying to kill it left and right. So half of people hate Bitcoin, half of people hate Vitalik, half of people hate me, half of people hate whoever gets elected, and you're just like, that's not the metric by which you should judge your excellence. My metric is how secure are we, and how price performative are we, and do we have unique features, and do we have a walled garden, and are we on ramping new users, and do we have synergy, and all the new things we're building amplifying the other things we built. So does Pulse Chain amplify Hex? Yes. Cheaper on ramp, lower fees, world's largest free airdrop, introduces a giant new audience into the ecosystem. A lot of people probably wouldn't have heard about Hex had they not heard about Pulse or Pulse Chain. And then, we're almost fully vertically integrated. So we've got Hex for value storage, we've got Pulse Chain for consensus network, we've got Pulse X for trading. I'm hiring guys to build out a wallet, and then the only thing we're missing is fiat on ramps. That's it. Like if you've got that stack, what else do you need? You're golden. Like you don't need anything else. So I'm happy with everything where everything's going. It's just a matter of waiting. We're
Yeah, you're definitely doing
we're
like
running out of stuff
amazing.
to do. Yeah.
Yeah, and I agree. There's something I did want to challenge you on though, is
Sure.
you say the flawless execution thing.
Mm-hmm.
Don't you think that some of the projects that were getting hacked are like way more complex than what Hex is currently doing?
Oh, is that better to be more complex?
Not necessarily, but I would say that they're just
Windows is
doing
really
something
complex.
completely different.
Yeah,
What?
that's right. Windows is really complex. Can you get rich on it?
You
No.
can't, but we're comparing two cryptocurrency projects. So like Hex gets
No,
you to
but
lock up money. It's very
you,
simple.
you understand what attack surface is? If I'll define it for you. Security is a function of how much you've invested into security versus how much space there is to secure. So if you had a house the size of Earth, people would be breaking into your house because you can't watch every corner of your house all the time. But if you had the house the size of like one from a Monopoly board and you could stick it in your pocket, harder to break into there, easier to watch. And so when you have
And he says,
buggy
I'm not
spaghetti
Muslim.
code
I'm an
that
idiot.
takes 9 months to train a developer to make his first commit, which is the Bitcoin code, you have a gigantic attack surface and roughly no money invested into securing it. Hex had 3 audits, 2 security audits, 1 economics audit. Bitcoin's had none of those. And so if you want secure software, less features is more secure. Less attack surface is more secure. And so Hex is more resistant to inflation bugs than almost any layer 1 network. Like Hex is more resistant to inflation bugs than Ethereum is. Because when you upgrade the Ethereum code, you're more likely to touch something that touches consensus because it isn't locked and isolated and modular. It touches everything else. It's still better than Bitcoin, but you know, like the design of Hex from a consensus perspective is more secure and always will be because it's locked and isolated and secure. It's like locking a safe inside of a safe. So,
I
you
agree,
know,
but remember, Hex is not a smart contract platform. So, like, Pulse Chain and Pulse X would be increasing this attack surface, right?
yeah. Well, Pulse Chain would be, but Pulse X wouldn't be because
Yeah.
Pulse X has a ton of audits. The bridge has a ton of audits. Um, so those particular things have less attack surface than Pulse Chain. Pulse Chain has more attack surface,
Yeah.
but there's also remedies, right? So Bitcoin had 2 inflation bugs. One was executed, one wasn't. But did that hurt the Bitcoin price? No, because these are all socially enforced networks. So even if you get a critical if depending on what kind of critical inflation bug you get, you can hard fork and just remove the crap coins. Like Ethereum did this, right? Like there was the DAO hack, which you could say wasn't really a hack. It was just poorly designed code.
Yeah.
And then code is law. Oh no, our code wasn't right. Hold on. We didn't mean that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Funny. Unstoppable world computer. Yeah. This is Ethereum's old marketing for those that haven't been around so long. But then they stopped it and forked out the hackers' coins.
It's crazy. Yeah.
But then they won't do that again, because if they were going to do that again, they'd do it for the Polkadot founder, Gavin Wood, who wrote Solidity, who wrote the Solidity code. That he basically wrote Ethereum. And then he lost 600,000 Ethereum, I think, which is now like almost $3 billion. So, and they didn't bail him out. Those coins are just lost forever. They're locked in a, so they had a multi-sig, and then they didn't make the destroy function, the self-destruct function. They didn't make it private. They made it public. So someone just called the self-destruct, and their multi-sig could never free the coins. So they're just trapped forever. It's like, yeah, it's pretty funny. But it's proof that Ethereum isn't going to be bailing people out using that fork method. Because if they would, there's no one more inside than that insider. And they chose not to bail him out. So like from an attack surface perspective, Hex is extremely secure. Pulse is extremely secure. And Pulse Chain is roughly as secure as Ethereum because it's mostly Ethereum code.
Yeah.
No.
I just think it's fair if you're comparing, you should do like the Pulse Chain versus like Ethereum.
No, but you're not.
I just think like from a person that understands crypto, I've been in it for a while, it does rub me a little bit weird. I'm just like, okay.
You're making a bad judgment call. So your brain internally is telling you that stuff that can do more is better.
I never said that. Wrong. I just think that there's more.
No, but I'm telling you, I just told you that it's subconscious. Like I'm telling you that you feel that way, but you don't understand why you feel that way. So if there's a funny picture of a Tesla car, and then open source people are making fun of it. Enjoy your botnet, closed source, can't upgrade it. And then it shows a picture of like the open source car. It's ugly as hell. It's got parts falling off of it. One day we'll add this feature, like Windows, like actual Windows you can open and close. Like it's just a picture of like how people fall into these like beliefs that they've kind of missed the point. The only thing in crypto that matters is price performance and security. That's it. And all this other feature crap and benefits crap, they're just narrative memes, and people rotate out of them. Bitcoin used to be peer-to-peer digital cash. Failed entirely. Absolutely no one uses it that way. Nobody wants to wait an hour for their first confirmation, let alone 6, which I've seen and done and participated in. No fun. So then they rotated to programmable money. No one ever programmed it to do anything. Can't program it to wake you up in the morning. Oh, well, hey, no worries. We're just going to swap that out. Now we're digital gold. And that's working out. Cool. Glad that's working out for you. But all that other stuff you said was garbage, lies. Maybe you didn't know they were lies when you told them, but time showed them to be so. So how many empty blockchains do we have? Almost all of them. Almost all the blockchains are empty. Almost all of the blockchains are ghost chains. And so if you operate from this Swiss Army knife, open source Tesla car, oh, it does more, so it should be better, you're entirely missing the point of what crypto is for. Security, price performance, and then maybe censorship resistance. And then you look at these projects that do all this stuff, they have high throughput, to what end? Like take BSV. What are all the BSV transactions? Weather updates of what temperature it is someplace. You're like, oh, okay. And who's trying to censor that? And why are we logging that on 10,000 hard drives? No, like, oh, just so that you guys look busy. Okay.
Yeah.
And then you look at other chains and you're like, what are all these these high throughput features like Hashgraph, right? Hashgraph says it has high throughput. It doesn't actually. It only has high throughput without finality. If you care about the finality, the past can't change. It doesn't have higher throughput. And so what are all their transactions? It's just like 6 guys spamming up the chain. When you filter out by like who's submitting the transactions, you're like, oh, there's like 6 guys that do all the transactions. Cool, good one. Yep. And so there's this law. I don't remember the name of it right now, but basically, as soon as you make a measurement a priority, it ceases to be a good measurement. So if your metric for what you think makes a blockchain good is transactions, people are going to spam up the chain with transactions. If your metric is fees, people will shill bid the fees up to themselves. If it's volume, people will create fake volume. And if it's, how many partners you have, oh boy, you're going to get a lot of JPEGs at the bottom of that website from XYZ Crap Ventures and, XYZ Crap Capital. And I hate all that buzzword salad, false key performance indicators. I don't like any of that stuff. It all sucks. So I don't want people to think that an L1 chain is a better value proposition than something well designed on the chain, because it's not the case. So, Amazon that ships you stuff is not layer 1. They operate on the post office. They operate on DHL. They operate on FedEx. And if those companies didn't carry the crap to you, you wouldn't get the crap. So they're a layer 2. But they make more money than all those other companies. Why? Because they're closer to the money. And so in every value ecosystem, there's a stratification of who gets all the money. And usually the people closest to the sales channel get the majority of the money. The salespeople and the company doing the sales makes the most of the money. The people that actually build the stuff, design the stuff, do customer support for the stuff, ship the stuff, they make less. And so I just feel in you that you think L1s are cool and you like stuff that does more. And I'm trying to shake you out of that, because it just means more attack surface and usually ghost chain.